sister. How are you?
I'm Shanti, brother. I'm good. And you, brother?
I'm fine. It's been very long. And now we are going to discuss about a very sensitive topic that's going on in India right now. So, rape, murder, sexual molestation, everything becomes very common. That's a daily news now in India, which is very bad because this was once a heaven. This is the spiritual lighthouse for the world, but now it's becoming popular for bad reasons. So recently, a lady doctor in Calcutta who is around 31 years old, she was raped and brutally murdered in her workplace by a cop who was on duty, who is supposed to give safety to the doctors and patients there. So, and there's a huge uproar over that issue in North India. Down south in Kerala, in the film industry, so an actress was kidnapped by the year 2017 by a group of 4 or 5 uh, rowdy guys, and she was sexually assaulted inside the car. Somehow she came out and lodged complaint to the police. Then, out of the investigation, they found an actor was actually behind this crime. He was making guys to kidnap her, to videograph her while she was being sexually molested. So after that, many women joined to form a team, and they approached the government for the help, and they have created a committee so that women can, uh, without revealing their identity, lodge the complaint on what's going on in the Malayalam film industry. So just a week back, the report was submitted. Everybody was shocked because all big shots were involved in sexual assaults. So it's like they give the roles for heroines in exchange for sexual favors. So that shocked even the girls who approached the government for help because they held some actors at high level in their mind. So they couldn't even believe their own eyes that even they are involved in such acts. So in one incident, uh, when the heroine was coming out of the washroom, the hero was just hugging her from behind and trying to kiss her. So she immediately ran away from there. Then repeatedly, uh, guys working in the set were approaching her for sexual favors. She was rejecting all the way. Then again, she was co-producing a movie, and her lawyer introduced her to another producer, saying that they are going to discuss about the location. But as soon as she reached there, the lawyer disappeared. Then, after discussing for a while, she said, "It's time up for me. My kids would be waiting there." He was saying, "No, no, 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 wait, wait. What's your favorite hot drinks?" She said, "No, I don't drink." She said, he was trying to convince her into sex. She says, "No, I'm not that type of girl." Then he said, "Sorry, ma'am, I didn't know this because your lawyer only said that you are ready for this." Then she called her lawyer. He didn't pick up the call. So, and in another instance, uh, she was taking the hero in her car. Actually, he was driving the car and he was taking the forest route where it's very dangerous to get down the car. So even she was shocked why he was taking this route. While he was speaking, he was uh, started molesting her in the car, and she was shouting, "If you keep continuing doing that, I will jump out of the car." She was slammed the door open. Only then he stopped the call. She got down and she was so afraid because there's nothing around her. It was filled with wild animals. So she was so shivering and she was saying, "Don't act too smart. Please take me up in your car and leave me in the hotel from where you picked me from." So she was lodging many complaints like that, and also many heroines said that this director was saying even to join the actors union, you need to do sexual favors. So those guys who did this to these young girls, they are around or they are in their 60s and 70s. That was very shocking. So they are very famous directors, producers who had earned a very good name, and it all fell down just like that after this report came to light. So now, in all states of India, they are speaking not only about the Malayalam industry, they say this might happen in our industry too. So we should also start a committee. So no single hero is speaking about this, which means they might have done similar things in their past. Because if they open their mouth, then someone who was the victim of that hero would might start speaking up against him. So they don't want that to happen. So this is what's going on, and one actress called Shakila, she was a B grade actress. Uh, she says that these allegations will always be on producers and directors and other technicians and never on the main star hero because they don't have to call us. We will be eagerly waiting for them to call us. We will automatically go. So that actually damages women's self-respect, right? She was saying so, and she says um, one costume designer was touching her inappropriately when she was given the costume for the first movie. She was wearing swimsuit, but uh, she used to act that she usually act in sex movies. And my doubt is they say they are being sexually exploited only when some guy is using her sexually away from the camera, but they don't bother about what's happening in front of the camera provided they are given enough money. They are even ready to be naked, have sex right in front of the camera. So that's what makes me wonder what's going on here. How come this is appropriate, that is inappropriate? If that's inappropriate, this is also inappropriate because this causes huge damage than the sexual favor that happens between a man and women because that involves only two-person. But here, if they take sexually provocative scenes, so the public who watches it gets sexually triggered, and that result in them committing sexual crimes against women and child. So this is a huge crime than doing sexual favors in exchange for the movies, right? Don't you think so?
For me, I can only say nothing new. After hearing that, of course,
Mm.
nothing new because there is so many. We know America film industry, and there's so many also things happening there.
Yes.
But for you, is maybe new because it's happening in India, and it's
Mm.
discovering also the light of that industry there.
Mm.
But yeah, nothing new for
Mm.
for the society, for the souls, and for the age that we are living in.
Yeah.
So of course we think that it's not good to do in front of the camera and also behind the camera,
Yeah.
because you're doing it anyway, and you making something inappropriate for others to watch, and you are also responsible in a way. But there are so many. The power is the power that someone have and that can use on another person that wants something, can make that person a slave of that person that have a power, because they maybe want money, they want fame, they want
Yeah.
to act, maybe they don't have another way to do that. And yeah, I don't want to judge anyone, so it's just what's happening in the world today, and it's, of course, it's not good thing,
Yeah.
but the power was always
Mm.
misused in many ways. Power is misused. So the souls that are uh, under the influence because they want to fulfill their role, they think they should play in this world, and they want to play,
Mm.
they do anything for that role. And so I believe there is so much also like the mind the mind don't have always the right answer and the control and the power of judging what to do and what not to do. And also there is so much incognito things happening that nobody knows, and when it starts opening up, it open up Pandora box, and
Yes.
everything is going out. So
Mm.
yeah, this is like the age of sin. So sin is everywhere, is omnipresent, so it's nothing.
Yeah.
But it's not, we are not happy when we know that this is happening in our neighborhood. We don't feel safe, of course,
Yes.
and also don't feel happy that it's happening like that.
Mm. And also, the women who were fighting against men, they are accused, who were uh, dominating women. They were saying this: we are raising our voice so that the newcomers don't get affected by them anymore. That's the reason we are exposing these men, which is justifiable. At the same time, they are ready to do any roles. They don't worry about glamour roles. They don't worry about speaking filthy language in the movie, which actually makes the women in the public more unsafe, because the audience who are watching that movie, they will get corrupted in their mind. Then that's the reason sexual crimes are happening, and they least bother about the public. They only bother about their fraternity, their film fraternity. That's it. Because this is going to be the reason for sexual crimes against women. They're because they're ready to do anything for money. That's not the problem for them. But they don't want to get sexually exploited off the camera. But they're ready to get sexually exploited in front of the camera because that will bring them fame. But if it is off camera, that's not going to bring them fame. So that's the reason they are standing, they're raising voice against this, which is not good, because you should behave both, because what you are showing in the movie, that's going to create a huge impact on the public. So if you don't bother your sisters getting sexually assaulted because of watching your movies, then this is not uh, raising voice for women, right? They raise voice only
For
for
me,
their profession.
for me, everything what I was hearing is that everyone is involved. Even those who watching that is involved. So all the world is involved in that crime. It means the crime
That
is everywhere, is omnipresent, and it's
yeah,
justified by the publicity,
yeah,
because everyone wants to watch those movies, and it means that they are also involved. So in a way, it's kind of world is going on a wrong direction,
that's
but it's it's exploited. Everything is exploited, and there is no respect in that. Of course, if you watch that, if you like that, if your senses enjoying that, and the one who doing that for the senses, and because the world is like that, we cannot change what is happening
But
because
the
now everything is normal.
yeah, but the mindset of women is very strange because they say uh, they are okay with doing sexual favors if it is consent based. If the girl says, okay, I'll do sexual favor in exchange of the role, then there's no issue. Only when she disagrees to that, still you want to put pressure on her, then they say it's not okay. But anyway, they have come to do acting, not to do prostitution. How can you ask someone in your profession to do sexual favors in the first place? Right? That's not right. If it is a
Yeah.
prostitution home, if you are asking her willingness, that's another thing because you have gone there just for that. But other profession, it's not for that. It's for something else. But they say it's okay to do sexual favors in exchange of roles, provided she says yes for that. So if four girls in a row say yes to a producer or director, obviously that man's mentality is going to be like, if I ask, they're going to accept, right? So that's the reason he is going to repeat. So these girls who said yes before, they are creating the criminal here. Now he is expecting that from
Only
everybody.
only word that I'm hearing while you're speaking is corruption.
Yeah,
And corruption is everywhere. So that
yeah,
is just the corruption connected to the sexuality, but corruption is everywhere.
yeah.
It's omnipresent, like I said, like lust, like everything. The corruption is everywhere. So uh, I see corruption in the places where corruption should not be.
Mm,
And so there is no place without corruption. Everyone want to play the role. Everyone do things that are not right for the others, and after that, the consequences for the others coming. But many souls thinking only about their own role and what they want to complete,
yeah,
accomplish, and there is not so much awareness what is really happening and how much really to see the bigger picture of how much you are actually important and what you decide is important for everyone else also. But it's not going like that because we know everything is going down now in the consciousness and in awareness, and so we cannot change that.
yeah,
That is only there is so many things we don't know. We are getting amazed, like uh, we say, "Oh, this is happening," and we are like sad. But there are so many things that we don't know, and when we gonna realize that, we're gonna be also like,
yeah,
"Wow, this is also happening." So
yeah.
it's just parts that is open now. Everyone know, but there are so many other parts that we
We,
don't want to know.
we don't know. Yeah, that's true. And another
Yeah.
thing is, I want to make a point here is uh, those who asked for sexual favors, they were big shots in terms of money and in terms of their talent. They are great directors. So they have earned a good name and they all came down just like that after this report came out. So that's why God says lust is the greatest enemy. It will break you in a second. Whatever you earned for years, so in Bible there's a good saying that whatever you have done secretly, that will come to light for sure pretty soon. That's what's happening now. Now they are in their 70s and 80s, but they can't do anything about it. They might have a family, they have grandsons, granddaughters. Now they can no longer proudly say that I am the granddaughter of this director. Previously, they used to say. Now they can't say. They can't even say I'm from film background. It's like a disgusting word because uh, the world is laughing. The film industry is like that. So previously, when this was happening, it was quite normal for guys to ask for sexual favors. So that's why they've been engaging in such acts. But only when it comes in front of the law, they suddenly realize what kind of crime they have committed. So this happens quite often. Recently, they conducted fake sports camp in schools and they sexually assaulted minor girls. And that came to light. Then police were arresting many on that. And just on hearing this news, one main guy who is associated with this crime, he committed suicide. Which means as soon as he realizes that he is going to be arrested, only then he realizes what he did is wrong. Till then he couldn't even realize that. That's why that's what God says as the power to discriminate and discern. You lack that power. So that's the power of lust that makes your intellect dull. Your intellect and mind will be so inactive that you can't differentiate between right and wrong. So only when you get punished, you realize that, but then it's already too late.
You can realize, or you are just ashamed, or
Yeah.
you don't want to be
Mm.
seen like that. You like
Yeah.
when you were not
Then you have
nobody
to,
knows about that.
yeah, you have to move every time in shame in public.
There is
Mm.
also power to face. It's
Mm.
power to face. You have to face the consequences of what you did. Yeah, there is that is also the power. We
Yeah.
have to face with everything, whatever we do, we have to face with the consequences.
See, so this is the thing. If you think you need to commit suicide, then obviously this is wrong, right? You know, even if there is blame on you about some other crime, even if it is murder, you won't be ashamed. But when it comes to such lustful things, you feel ashamed. So that should reveal that which is the greatest sin.
And what I hear also is that souls miss real love and real understanding
Mm.
of, so they don't commit such things.
Mm.
It means the soul that have power, they want to gain love through that power and they do bad things, so they feel like they're ruling others, but actually it doesn't give you anything real. It just give you like you have just illusion that you are king of something and that you are owning someone. So that's just illusion and it's not real love. It's not real friends. So there is nothing real in that.
That's true.
So what we need is like real love, real purity, real happiness, and everything real. So to come back to that real, we need to come back to ourselves. But of course, this will have to go on that way.
Yeah,
This all have to happen.
it has to
We have to fall down, and the souls have to commit such a things. So the soul is different capacity and different roles, and yeah, it's all for a reason, of course. And I agree with you that with lust and everything, you become so dull. Your intellect cannot discern. You cannot come back because so much happening in your body, so many hormones, so many things happening with that lust, and too much body consciousness that you cannot even become aware of who you really are.
focus, focus.
Beyond body, you cannot go
Yeah,
on that state of mind.
yeah. So usually Christians say this when they are under the influence of lust. It's like some demon has overpowered me. So that's true. That's and the reason for that is what you said, because of the various hormonal secretions that makes you more body conscious. That your mind is no longer able to act. That's true. And also another thing is all these. So Christianity and Islam speak about the Judgment Day, which is actually happening right now. This is the Judgment Day, right? So whatever you
Yeah,
have
that's
done,
what I wanted to say.
yeah.
Actually, in Gita is also written that when
Mm,
the last days are coming, when the judgment days is coming,
mm,
the women's will be more and more seized as an object,
mm.
as an object for the men's, and
Yes,
it means the judgment day is coming. So it seems like what we're speaking is that
yes.
women are season as an object.
Object. That's
So
true.
it's just saying that the end of the cycle is coming because
That's
yeah,
true.
it's everywhere, omnipresent.
Yeah. And there is one allegation of a famous director called Bharathan in Malayalam film industry. He was very famous. He died recently, and he's someone who worked beneath him as a photographer. He said that he used to spend every single night with different girls throughout his life, and also he will be under the influence of some intoxic substance all the time. Only then he will get the mood to keep the shot. So he says, uh, even after using several girls, there are many girls for whom he doesn't even give the chance. Although he cheats him under the disguise of giving her the chance in exchange of sexual favor, he doesn't even fulfill that. So he gets cursed by many girls for that. He was a very good technician. So now everything comes to light. And he says maybe he's a good technician, but he has no good character, because that matters at the end. Nobody speaks about your technical talent once your character is damaged. So our true worth is in the character, not on our talent. So when you become talent and when you get obsessed with your talent, that will make you body conscious and arrogant and want to overpower others, and you indulge in such sexual exploitation. But one day it will definitely come to light. Maybe today it happened in film industry. So what happens in the film industry? Well, film industry is the root cause for the destruction of the world. So that's how people mind get corrupted, no matter what country. But now the film industry is suffering
Yeah.
for the same. But now comes the same is expected for the public too. So before getting too late, please get out of this body consciousness, the addiction to lust. So one director was speaking against the uh, criminals who was indulged in such criminal acts against women. On seeing this, one actress was thinking, "Oh my God, he was acting like a good man. I know what he did to me. I should expose him." So that triggered her. Then she lodged complaint against him. That's it. He kept shut. So that's the thing. So we don't know when the people uh, will come to light and start pointing finger at you. Before that, you can easily come out of it if you change your behavior totally. So the only way to do that, first you have to go to the root cause of why it's happening. They were not unmarried men who indulged in such acts. They were married and they had many relationships with girls. Despite that, they are doing these things also, which reveals and proves beyond doubt that lust can never be satisfied. So he was spending all nights with different girls, but still he is not satisfied. That's the power of Satan. So Satan is nothing but these five vices: lust, anger, greed, attachment, and ego. Lust is the king of these vices. Once you get addicted to it, there is no coming out at all. Once you are first exposed to to watching the opposite sex, you will no longer leave that behavior. So once you start watching pornography, you will no longer come out of it. Once you start indulging in sexual acts, you can no longer come out of it. Once you start seeing girls as sexual objects, you can't come out of it. It's a one-way path. There's no way out. But there is only one way. But no human way can save you. That's the reason many religious leaders are even doing sexual assaults. They are caught red-handed because they don't have that power to win, to conquer lust. So that is something that can't happen without God's help. So God reveals the true reason behind how we became like this. We were not sexual addicts in our childhood, right? We would have seen many beautiful men and women in our childhood. We know they were beautiful, but we didn't have any sexual thoughts on them. So it is only when you slowly grow up after listening to love songs and romantic songs over and over again, your mind gets slowly corrupted. Then you speak with your
And watching movies.
by watching movies and speaking with friends all the time about these romantic things. You get corrupted at one point. Maybe opposite sex, they approach you or you approach them. First they will approach you, only then you will get the guts to approach them back. Till then you will be all right, because in the beginning nobody will have confidence over the opposite sex. Once they have the confidence that somebody is attracted to me, then you will start approaching them. Then it slowly gets into criminal activities. You no longer realize that it is a crime. You think it's a normal thing. Sometimes it is even possible for girls to exploit you. Maybe they came on their own. In this film industry example, they might have come on their own, but they may not have got the chance they wanted. Maybe that's the reason they are raising voice now, because it's now their chance to take revenge on them. That's also possible. But anyway, whether you exploit them or whether it comes on your way, it is your responsibility to save yourself. Or else, because no matter what happens, whatever girl says, the law accepts that. Maybe she came on her own, but in front of the law, you can't say that, especially in India, in with such tradition. Even if a girl approaches you when you are married, you are not supposed to take advantage of that. So even if the girl approached him, he couldn't say that only she approached.
I'm listening to you, what you're saying about
Mm,
all the things that are happening and
mm,
how people behave. And
mm,
of course, they behave on that way because of the influence, and they don't have that approach that we have.
mm,
They don't go into deeper realization who they are, and they don't go into purity.
yeah,
But for us who have that experience of purity, of a pure consciousness, of connection with God,
mm,
we can easily see influence when something for something what we do. For example, if I watch something violent, I can feel the influence
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
more than someone who is all the time involved in that,
yeah,
because my mind didn't. It's not usual for my mind to get such information. So it means it depends. If you it became your habit, you don't see it as a problem. But if you are beyond that, and you're done doing that for few years, and you are in a better consciousness, then after sometimes when you do something like that, you watch some movie that is violent or something, then you feel how it influences your mind more.
That's true.
So for me, it's like also important.
Yes,
We have to clean ourselves so we know how things really influence us.
that's the thing. Because many women, they got shocked when they hear the names of the top actors who got involved in this case, because they were previously acting with those actors and they were behaving so decently. But now they are shocked. Even they had this space, because even though you were good in the beginning, if you are seeing such things all around, that people exploit girls sexually, slowly your mind will also get corrupted, that one day you will also do such act. That's why God says
If you don't,
you should stay away
i-
from such members.
if you don't have
Mm.
if you don't have strong intellect,
Yeah,
and if you don't have strong will and understanding what is good and
good
what
and
is
wrong.
right, of course you're going to be influenced.
That's true. That's true.
It's good to realize what is true and what is not. Meet so many people in my life,
Mm.
and there are so many people that when they speak something,
Mm.
they it's like you want to believe them because they are so strong minded, but still it's not true.
That's true.
They speak things that are not true, for example,
Mm.
but it can influence you because they are so strong in their beliefs.
Yes.
But when I have my intellect on what is really right, and I think, okay, this person is saying that, but is it really true? Or I'm just getting influenced with the energy that that person is presenting that and all of that. And then I realize, okay, this is not truth for me. I just went influenced for some time, and then I realized it.
Yeah. And also
It's just
yeah, and also it's important for us to protect ourselves from their company, because the company colors us. That's why God says to uh, beware of whom you are associating with. Beware of your companion, because that's going to change
no.
your
It
color.
doesn't mean that those people are. It doesn't mean that those people are mean. For example, this example that I'm taking, I didn't take any person that it's like bad person,
Okay.
but
They
there is
themselves
some
are under
things
the
that I,
influence. Yeah.
yeah, they themselves fell under the influence,
Okay.
but in a talking with others,
Mm.
they can have strong beliefs about something
Mm.
that you strongly disbelieve. But they can be so strong in their belief that you start respecting your own belief. But after some time, you start realizing that is the character of a person. It doesn't mean it's a dangerous person, especially it's a good test for us how strong we are in our
Yes.
will
Yes.
and how easy it is to influence us, with how easy it is to manipulate us
Yes.
on some ways. So then we realize, okay, this person has strong mind,
Mm.
and it seems like when they speak, they seems like really like you want to believe them, but then you realize, okay, but this is not for me. I choose not to believe this information because mind start believing when you're listening. Then you say, okay, I start not to believe this information. This is not for me.
Yeah.
For me, that is a good actually example
Mm.
to understand what is really
But
happening
unfortunately,
to our mind.
there is no one in the world or nothing in this world that's going to educate us the truth, including the school education. They always have these romantic stories, be it Shakespeare stories or whatever. So we, when we find that in our very textbook, obviously we are going to buy that love is correct, uh, sex is correct. So only staying celibate is something that's not natural. But now, if sex is correct, then why such shame? So you intuitively know that what you did is wrong. That's the reason for the shame and suicide. So that's the reason, but nobody is going to teach you. But luckily, especially in Islam, they teach you over and over again. But it is wrongly interpreted by the outsiders as dominating women. But that's actually the protection for women in terms of clothes, in terms of how you should behave with others, how you should not speak with the stranger man uh, uh, in private. You can speak in public, but if you go with a male in private, there is a pretty good chance of such sexual assaults happening, at least at a mental level. He will try to corrupt you. So these things, they were saying it repeatedly, but we turned dumb ear to them. But if that was being followed across the globe, I don't think there would be any sexual assaults at all. But they brush it aside, saying that it is just a masculine belief system. It is just to control women. But yeah, it is in our self control comes our protection. If you don't have self control, you are no longer protected. So the religion teaches that. There was a glamour actress in our place called Mumtaz. She's Muslim, but uh, now she regrets for what she did in cinema, doing glamour roles, and she's begging everybody not to post her pictures because that wouldn't good look good in my grave. I regret my past. Now she has devoted herself fully to religion, which is good. She is the only actress I know of that realizes that what she did, she was just a glamour actress. She didn't come nude. She was doing glamour roles. That's it. Uh, but the other actress called Shakila, she was even acting nude, and she was saying as if she was right because the Malayalam industry, film industry, banned her from acting anymore because her movies dominated the normal movies in collection. They don't get theaters. Wherever you turn, all 200 to 300 theaters, only her movies were running. So that's why they approached the government and they decided not to allow her anymore to act in Malayalam, which is a good thing. But she's even now she says, "What did I do to you? Why did you remove from Kerala film industry?" Which means she is in her 60s now. Still, she doesn't realize that what she did was wrong. That's the thing. If you keep on,
because it was
yeah.
not wrong.
Yeah, because there is
Because
nobody to say.
so
Now everybody is speaking that it is okay to do, to wear whatever you want, to show whatever you want, because it is your body, your right. Then when something bad happens, then immediately they point finger at you saying your site is not right, which is also true. But that was corrupted by these kind of movies, by people like this acting like this. So
but what do you say, brother, about for example, in a summer when everyone is bathing in a swimsuit?
yeah, that's in foreign country, it's a different scenario, sister. In India, it's a different scenario because, as God says, we are the weakest souls because we came long back. So our souls are very weak, and here everybody is dressed in saris. You know, right? You know saris, right? So it is fully clothed. So when they are not even exposed to seeing girls like that, and when all of a sudden in movie, when they watch like that, so they they get so possessed by female bodies because they don't show it simply. If you watch Indian songs, you will know that they will glamorize it to the extent as if there is something in that body. uh, Such
Yeah.
close-up shots on each part. So that will make you believe that there is something in that. That is one of the reasons for that Kolkata doctor's brutal murder and rape. So that's the thing.
You just say
Yeah,
how world is unhappy and
yeah,
how they try to search happiness outside and how
mm,
they don't really realize what is the real happiness. And of course, that is all part of their roles, and they have to play those roles now. But
yeah.
yeah, it's good to know that there is like a different kind of happiness, and it's behind senses, behind sense of joy.
Yeah, that's
There is
what that.
like
Yeah,
sense of joy, what it's really bringing you. Are you aware how much is your awareness and how much strong you are when you are under the influence of sense of sensual things? You
and
are not aware and you are not the master of your senses and you are not master anyway on your own mind. So anyone can manipulate you in that point. Many people are manipulated because of their sense of needs and because they cannot say no to that and they cannot stop doing that. So they can easily be manipulated because they want that and then they are manipulated from the woman and then they say women are bad. They want your money, they want your this, but actually they are manipulated because their wishes, they have so much lust. So they are the ones who actually also doing wrong.
yeah,
It's pleasing. They are giving all of that to the women just because they like have a lot of lust. So
yeah, and what
it's
you and
people want love, but it's not real love.
yeah, and what you
The
said.
real love and the real
Uh,
self-respect.
mm,
Self-respect is to know who you really are, that you are a soul, and what is your real power. Yeah, that's the real stuff.
yeah, and what you said about wearing swimsuit during summer while taking bath in the sea. So that was sexualized in movies. That's the thing. It was a normal thing. Even in India, they take bath in the public pond. Nobody would watch in the past. But now this movie, while they were dressing glamorously, the very intention of that shot is to sexualize her body. Even knowing that she is ready to do whatever director wants her to do, so that puts the life of other girls in public in danger, because once people's mind get corrupted with women's body all the time, obviously he is going to see her body with sexualized thoughts. So that's the difference between what they show in movie and what happens for real. That's a common thing, because men and women are not very different. Of course, there's some slight difference in body. Other than that, they're more or less the same. But still, these media people, movie industries, they want to make women appear so sexual, because their target audience
Yeah.
is men. That's the
They
reason.
want to sell.
They
They
want to
want to
sell.
sell that with that.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. So when girl is ready to sell her body for money, so when it is prostitution, they are selling it just to one person, which is also bad. But when you are selling your body in the movie, you are doing more sin compared to prostitution, because you are selling it to the public. Anybody can watch it, get sexually triggered, indulge in sexual acts. So, but nobody is speaking about it because that's normalized. So here, trigger is not a problem. You can trigger as much as you want through movies. That's not illegal. But when you get triggered and act on it, then it's illegal. So that's the power of Satan. So that Satan's rule, Maya's rule, right? So he makes you commit sin. Once you commit it, you'll be punished by the same Maya. But the seed is still there. They don't bother to remove the seed. So nobody is going to say these things to you. You can't find it in textbook. You can't even find it in religious books, because even religion, including Islam, they don't say sex is bad. They just want to protect women. That's it. So as long as you have the thought sex is not bad, obviously you are going to fall for it. No matter what strict punishment you are going to face, still you are going to go beyond control when your mind is fully obsessed with sexual thoughts. Then you will be
because you don't have
punished.
the truth.
You can't
Because you don't
control.
have the truth.
Yes.
You don't have a truth.
Yeah.
You need a truth what
Mm.
really is needed in this time, and that is to be soul consciousness and to see others as a soul. Because the real love, the real power is in the eyes when you look someone as a soul and you give someone love as a soul and you see them as a brother and you give them respect and you give the power and the respect to the soul, they feel like they have energy boost through only some souls have so much power of purity. They can only look at you and you can have that power because they look at you as a soul. I'm not saying about gurus that are staying in celibacy or something. I'm saying about the souls in this knowledge that are totally committed to soul consciousness and totally committed in that kind of thinking, and they are realizing who they are, and they see others as a brothers, as a souls, and they give them power boost with only their look, because they look them through the eyes, and the eyes are the mirrors of the soul. And there can be so much love, so much power, so much happiness in the eyes. And it can also, when you look the other soul, as she was not look like that for like many lives. Nobody look her like that, with that kind of love, pure love.
Yeah.
Everybody needs that, but they don't know that they need it.
And
So
they,
when they have that experience,
yeah,
they realize what the truth is and what the true love is, and what they really need is not that kind of explosion and the sexuality. No, they really need the true love, the pure love.
that's the thing. We can find it among the children. Both girls and boys, they play without any single sexual thought. So innocent. And we were innocent in the beginning, when it was the golden age. That was 5,000 years back. God says, you were fully soul conscious. By soul conscious, I mean considering ourselves as souls that shines like a tiny star in between the eyebrows. So it is the soul that sees through the eyes, speaks through the mouth, listens through the ears, performs every activity with the help of the body. And we are not this body, we are the one who operates this body. And we were aware of this while in heaven for the first 2500 years. That's why it was called heaven. That's why we were blessed with wealth and health and peace and prosperity and abundance. Everybody would look so beautiful. There won't be graying of hair, there won't be baldness, there won't be headache. It is absolutely disease free, uh, healthy body that will be blessed with because of purity. So the purity lies in our being soul conscious. That continues for the first 2500 years, which is why not only we are happy, but also everything around us, including animals, even they remain very happily. That's why it's mentioned in all religious scriptures that lion and cow take water from the same pond together, which means they don't feed on each other. Even lion and tiger feed on grasses. They were herbivorous in the beginning. That was when we were soul conscious. Only when we become body conscious, then these vices like lust, anger, greed, attachment, and ego emerge out of us. That's when the animals become wild. They start feeding on other animals. Uh, that's when we start having, that's the first time we lust our own wife. Before that, they don't even have the trace of lust in their mind. Then one would wonder, if that were the case, how would childbirth take place there? God says it would take place. but not with lust or any physical contact, but with the power of thought between husband and wife. That's the power of yoga, of a pure soul. Once the soul is pure, whatever it thinks, it will make it happen. So that's the strength of the soul. The soul was so powerful in the beginning. So slowly it loses its power, loses. In the end, it's almost like it has lost all its power. That's why we are seeing sexual assaults everywhere now.
And we cannot say that
Yeah,
soul doesn't need purity, because soul needs purity through half of the cycle. They need purity because
yeah,
immediately when we fall down from purity in an impurity, we were calling God, who is the only pure one.
yeah.
So we were calling Him
That's when
to,
we started calling
because we
God.
want that purity.
Yeah,
Yes, because we didn't feel that self-respect anymore. We didn't feel that power anymore. So we need God. Then we call him, half of the cycle, and we fall down
yes,
deeper and deeper in the mud, in the lust. And now he finally came
comes.
to purify us, because
Yeah.
there is nobody else who can purify us. He could
Mm.
there have to be a cycle. In cycle we have to suffer, half of the cycle we have to
Yeah,
suffer and fall,
this is the
but in the
cycle.
end God comes and we again feel that kind of love that we felt,
Yeah,
like in the beginning, that love that really is pure. And that's what we want, actually. We want that,
mm,
but in the same way we are falling, our bodies become weaker, our mind become weaker, the energy on the earth, and it is in drama that we fall and we do sinful acts, and then it's like, okay, we cannot do this anymore, this is no point in this. And when we wake up again, the third eye wake up again, and we realize, oh, I'm a soul,
yeah,
finally I feel
yeah,
love again, and
yeah.
I can love on that
And
way.
yeah, one brother said, after coming to this knowledge, I feel when I see others, they are stuck in the disease which I was suffering from in the past. I could easily relate myself to it. But even if I say, they are not going to.
But they are not aware, but
Yeah,
some are not aware that they are suffering. They
that's
think
true.
it's normal thing to
It's
happen.
normal. Yeah.
They
One,
think, oh, there is no way to go
mm,
from this.
yeah. Now, only after getting caught in this trap, they would realize. But still, they can't come out of it. They would spend the rest of their life in the prison, which is very bad because they don't have the health or age to bear that punishment anymore. So that's so God gives you the chance to change, but still you don't. So that's why we've been saying continuously. So when sister says God Himself comes, He comes from here. This is the supreme abode called Parandam or Parlok. So this God is called Allah by Muslims, Heavenly Godfather by Christians, and God Shiva by Hindus. God is just one. He is also a soul, just like all of us. We all resided along with Him. Then we enter this birth and death cycle while God stays away from taking birth and rebirth. Nevertheless, He comes in the end because only He has the knowledge about this 5,000-year time cycle called Kalpa. And He gives us this knowledge. Not everybody is going to take this knowledge. Only those who take this knowledge will be able to purify themselves, escape the punishment for their past sins. Moreover, they are going to win the prize of becoming the Narayan of heaven, which is the highest status of heaven. What's the fate of the rest? They will get punished like this, then they will suffer. They want to come out of it, and there are many natural calamities happening around the world. So they will be isolated in a place where they have no access to the opposite sex. Especially during the World War, there won't be current like uh, in Ukraine and Palestine. So there won't be power, there won't be internet connection. So, and also you'll be isolated. So that way, maybe you don't have access to the opposite sex. But still, if you have more lustful thoughts, that's when uh, homosex happens. So then God will give you more severe punishment, like isolating yourself from your own from your own gender. Then you will be so isolated, you will be afraid of the darkness, everything. So the world will be deadly for you that you will have no time to think about lust. That's how you will be uh, forced to give up lustful thoughts in the end, because the world is going to get renewed. Everybody is going to get out of the five vices either willingly by following the direction of God, or forcefully by the punishment of God. Either way, you will have to become pure. You have no choice. But once, when you willingly purify yourself by being in the remembrance of God as a point of light as much as possible, then there is nothing to worry, because we have destroyed our sins by the remembrance of God, and also the price of heaven is waiting for us. And another thing is, in this Kolkata lady doctor murder case, it seems that the accused raped her after killing her. So she's dead.
Yeah.
He's actually raping the dead body, which sounds uh, very strange. Having sex with a dead
Yeah, it's
body,
called necrophile.
necrophile, right? It's a disorder. But if having sex with a dead body is a strange thing, then having sex itself is a strange thing, because anyway it's a dead body if there is no soul. Even if there is a soul,
Yeah.
this is a body, that's it. It is because the soul is there, we don't call it a dead body. But still, it's a body. Dead body means soul, sorry, body without a soul, that's it. You're not going to have sex with the soul, you're going to have sex with the body. So it doesn't matter whether the soul is there or not, right? So that's the reason they are tempted to have sex with the sex body, sorry, dead body. So you can't blame them when you are doing the very same thing, right? So
Yeah,
that's the
I
thing.
guess.
Yeah, you don't differentiate between the dead body and living body when it's sleeping. Actually, the doctor was sleeping when she was raped. She was taking rest. So because you are so body conscious that you develop so sexual thoughts surrounding the body through movies, through friends, everything, you allow them to corrupt your mind. That's your mistake, but nobody says that it is wrong. Even your parents don't teach you, because they think if they say anything against sex, then you will not marry, so you will have no future. So they let you to corrupt your mind. That's true. So people,
Not all parents. Not all parents. Some parents really say, I didn't enjoy, it was not for me. It happens.
oh, no, all parents want their kids to get married, right? Is there anyone who doesn't want their kid to get married?
Probably some mothers
There are.
that
Okay.
like this sound. I
Okay.
don't know. I cannot
Uh,
generalize.
Okay.
I really cannot generalize
Okay.
souls
Okay.
because
Maybe
there
in
are so
India
many
it's not
things.
the case. In India, all parents want their kids to get married,
Yeah.
because they think
Different, different. Yeah, yeah.
it gives some confidence in the future. So there is someone to take care of their son or daughter. They think like that. But still, marriage is not wrong. But sex in the marriage is nothing but prostitution. That's the
Yeah.
main difference.
I always said that.
Yeah.
When people used to ask me, why don't you want to get married? Why don't you get
Mm.
married? And I get sick of explaining them because I see they don't understand what I'm
They
saying.
don't
Then I say,
understand.
okay, you know why I don't want to get married?
Mm.
Because if I get married to someone, that someone think they are my,
It's like
how to say, they are the masters of me.
That's
And
true.
if I don't give them what they want, they think they can get angry.
Yes.
What I am there?
Yes.
I'm the slave. Why do I want to get married and become a slave? It's
Yeah.
not my choice.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
That's very true, sister. Because even in this Malayalam film industry, when they don't get the sexual favors from the actress, they torture them a lot. So that's the power of lust that will make a man go mad. It is not only restricted to men, it even women go mad when they don't get the love or sex, especially love. So here in our part of India, it happens there was an actor called Mohan who was at his peak. All his movies were running more than 100 days, 150 days like that. So this happened some 15 years back. So one heroine wants him to marry her. He rejected the proposal. That's it. She said that he has got AIDS. So everybody believed that he is an HIV patient. Then he doesn't get any offer anymore. That's how he comes from hero to zero, just like that. So that's how girls even take revenge when they don't get what they want. So that's why lust is the greatest enemy. That will make you go mad on the person you love or lust for. So that's why God says always
true.
look at the soul, not the body. That will make you
And
look. Hmm.
being mad is already you are disrespecting yourself and you're disrespecting other person, and
Hmm.
it means you don't see the soul, you don't see
Hmm.
the power, you don't see that, you just see the pleasure, you just see the wishes. Yeah. So that's why we are becoming more and more soul consciousness, because it's the best protection. And
And
Baba say
hmm,
21 birds,
yeah, and
Draupadi 21 dress. She have 21 dress, so she cannot be undressed.
yeah,
So he's protecting her.
yeah. So all Indians should be proud that you are speaking about Draupadi. That's very nice.
Yes, Baba say
Yeah,
usually 21 dress.
yeah,
21 dress, it means in 21 birth you are protected, so
yeah. Nobody is
nobody
going to undress you.
can
Yeah,
yeah undress you.
that's the
That's the
thing.
point of.
So by staying pure only in this birth, which is the final birth, you don't have to make effort to stay pure because you will be normally pure, naturally pure. As a result, you will be getting the naturally beautiful body, disease free body, and you will be having wealth in abundance. Nobody has to work for food. They will work, but not for food. They will have more than enough money, and the nature will be first class. That they give the tastiest of the fruits, the most fragrant flowers. So that's why it was rightly called heaven. And mm,
What did I want?
so, as long as you don't come out of sexual addictions, out of sex altogether, then you can't blame uh, this sexual exploitation of women, children, and even having sex with animals because they're so body conscious that they want to satisfy somehow their sexual desires. So the only way to put an end to these kind of weird acts is to put an end to your habit of seeing each other as bodies. Just keep your mind focused in between the eyebrows because that's where truly you are as a soul, as a point of light. So it is this that speaks, that dances, that fights, that does everything. If it is not there, it is just a dead body. So why do you worry about always focusing on the dead body while the living soul is right here? That's the thing. God says if you love watching the body all the time, you will be provided the job of a cremator in heaven because you love watching body, so you take care of burning the body, burying the body. So that's why if you have The highest status of heaven, the Lakshmi Narayan status, was claimed by getting rid of body consciousness fully, by considering themselves to be souls and remembering God as a point of light as much as possible now. No matter what you do, just beware that you are the soul. Beware that you are the son of the supreme soul. That's it. These two things you have to bear in mind all the time, no matter what you do, no matter you whom you are interacting with. You are actually going to heaven through remembrance. That's why this is called the uh, that's why it is called the pilgrimage of remembrance, because it is only through remembrance that you can go to heaven. Because as much you engage your intellect in remembrance of God and heaven, your mind gets purified from the corrupted thoughts, the vicious thoughts. It becomes as pure as God Himself, so that you are becoming eligible to enter the kingdom of God, which is heaven. So that's why God says lust is the greatest enemy. Now, no matter how much we spend
And it's a
time,
process.
yeah, in saying this,
And
if
I just wanted to add something,
okay,
sorry,
go
that
on,
is a
please.
process. The purifying is a process.
Process. It
So
doesn't happen
it
just
needs
like
some
that.
time
It takes time and
because
effort.
yeah,
Yeah.
because sometimes soul means, oh, okay, I'm gonna be purified right away. Okay, it happened in a second. You feel, you have your experience of purity, but it's still a process to purify yourself totally.
Yeah. And also,
Sorry that I interrupted.
yeah, yeah, even I'm reminded of one thing that I'd like to add. So, globally, there is stress for adding sex education to kids, which is inappropriate. Nobody wants to teach you sex. You know it automatically, but you need to be educated on how to stay away from sex and what are the consequences of sex. By adding such things like the Malayalam film industry that's going through a rough time because of their addiction to sex, you have to put this in textbooks so that kids get aware of not falling for that, so that their mind is focused just on the in between the eyebrows where they truly are, so they don't get carried away by the external beauty, which is nothing but a dead body. So it is by becoming addicted to the dead body that we have lost everything that God gave us in heaven. We lost everything gradually because of our addiction to lust. That's why it is called the number one enemy. See, now this there were in Tamil Nadu there was a, chain of restaurants called Saravana Bhavan. So that's the number one restaurant, and the owner, he was sexually addicted. He got married 4 times. That is all at the same time. They he's living with 4 wives, and in addition, he was trying to marry another girl, but she was already in love with some other guy. So he killed that person because he comes in between them. So now this girl becomes very strong. She lodges the complaint, and he had to spend the rest of his life in prison. He died in prison. So from the peak, he hits the rock bottom just out of his addiction for sex. So deadly is sex. If you are able to stay out of sex, there is nothing impossible for you to achieve. Not only that, God
True.
has created us all with special gifts. We are all blessed with some special characters that will help us feed ourselves. But we don't know what that is because of our addiction to lust. Because our mind becomes so dull that uh, it doesn't even let the true special characteristics to emerge out of you. So that's the reason uh, some people, soon after they get married, they get sick of sex. They don't, some people, they don't lust after another women. They just get focused on what they want to do. They become rich, they get success, because they no longer get disturbed. Once they know, oh okay, this is sex, there's nothing great about that, that's it, now I'm going to focus on it, which is great. So previously in India, and I think it's across the globe, there was child marriage. They get married when they were 12, even lesser than that. Legally, it's not correct now, but still, they don't have that curiosity, right? Since they get married at the younger age, they don't, because this curiosity towards opposite sex body, that they spend their whole life wasted in this, like that happens in the Malayalam film industry. So, but anyway, past is past. We can't bring the past now. But the good news is we are going to bring what happened 5,000 years back now, because this world is going to be free of sex. There will not be lust, there will not be anger, there will not be greed, attachment, or ego anywhere on earth for the next 2,500 years. And the only way to enter that heaven is to make ourselves like that, by being in remembrance of God and by imbibing the divine qualities that we can get by learning the direct knowledge of God, which is called Murli, which is available absolutely free of cost in all Brahma Kumaris Raj Yoga meditation centers. So, two things you have to remember: you are a soul, and your Father is the Supreme Soul. So he is like a tiny star in the golden red colored light world. So always see him through your mind as a point of light, no matter what you do. Then you will see yourself getting out of any kind of addiction, including lust, because this is the biggest addiction. So unfortunately, nobody is aware of that. So that's why this is the great awareness video. So if somebody really understands the true essence of this video, that will create a great change in their life. So let us know in the comment if it creates such impact in your life. Say, sister.
Okay, as brother is saying, to connect to God, and that is very important to have that relationship.
Yes.
But first, it's good to realize that we are the souls,
Not this body.
and that we are bodiless,
Yes.
and because He is also bodiless, so we can really connect to Him. Not to connect to Him as a body, because that is not the right way, and we will not have the real connection. So the real connection is when we realize we are the souls. Then we can really connect.
That's true. And also, I'd like.
That's what I wanted just to add.
Yeah. And also, I'd like to add one more point. Maybe it would look difficult in the beginning. It takes time and effort. But if you stay away from focusing on the body for a certain period of time, like 6 months to 1 year, then you will no longer be attracted to the body. You'll be surprised, because you constantly intoxicate yourself by seeing at the body, that your mind believes that there is something in the body. Once you forcefully pull yourself from the attention towards the body and bring it towards the soul, all the time you interact with your family members or anybody, then it's not going to be that difficult to conquer sex. It is possible. You have done it 5,000 years back. That's why God says you will again do it and again get the heaven, because we were the residents of heaven. Whatever happens in this time cycle, that's nothing new, because everything that happened in one kalpa, that repeats kalpa after kalpa accurately without any single change. To understand it very clearly and easily, this video we created even 5,000 years back at the very same time. We'll be creating it every 5,000 years once at the very same date and time. That's how accurate it is. So the reason I'm stressing on this point is you have already conquered lust millions and millions of times, cycle after cycle. So it's not difficult for you. Have faith in yourself, have faith in God. So connect your mind with God all the time. God will take care of the rest. Om Shanti. Thanks everybody
Om
for watching.
Shanti.
Thank you so much, sister. Om Shanti.
Thank you,
Thank
brother.
you,
Om
sister.
Shanti.